Welcome back. Believe it or not, we've made it to day 20 of 50 days of fitness. And so I'm trying to figure out how I feel about that. I mean, 20 days, I guess that's pretty good. We're not quite yet to the halfway mark. Although tomorrow, if you haven't figured out yet, I'm kind of a counter. I may have that little tick, I don't know, where I get, and I'm always counting things. And so we're at day 20. Tomorrow is day 21, so tomorrow will be 3 weeks. And we're getting close to the halfway point of this little series. And so I've earned my first cup of coffee. And so I have, this is another one of those kind of crazy days where I have to be gone, oh gosh, probably at least half the day. And so when that happens, it kind of throws me off a little bit. It's like, God, am I going to get this all done? But so far, I've managed to do it, and we're gonna make a good, honest effort of it. And so far, I haven't missed a day yet. I mean, I've gotten at least 4 in every day. In fact, it has been 4 every day except one. One day I did 5, but every other day I've done 4. Um, and I showed you yesterday kind of what I was doing. I don't know if you like that or not. It was about, so right now it's taken me about 6.5 minutes to do my whole thing. And it's been a big bump up. I could tell today luckily it's not terrible, but I was a little bit sore this morning when I woke up. I was wondering what to talk about today, and I am thinking about talking a little bit about some of the supplements. And so I thought we would just start with caffeine. So, caffeine is one of those things that's actually a pretty good, reasonably safe supplement to take for exercise, and it's reasonably effective. It really can help you when you are working out, and I would say it works for both weight training, and I would say it also works maybe even better for cardio training. And I do know, like, especially with endurance sports. So, when I was doing endurance sports, one of the things when you're doing those things is uh, it's different to run 3 or 4 miles versus running a marathon, or same thing for swimming, same thing for biking. It's different biking a few miles to biking 30 miles or 100 miles. They're very different things. And one of the things that happens is that when you are doing endurance training, your body is searching for the energy it needs, and you can have the situation. It's commonly called hitting the wall, and that is basically where you have basically used up almost all of the resources you have available to provide your energy. And it really is kind of crazy. I mean, it's hard to describe, but once you kind of get used to it, you can feel it. And when you get to that point, lots of times it's too late to do anything about it. And so with that in mind, like when you're doing endurance sports, when you're going for long runs or going for long bikes or even swims, lots of times you will have you'll eat while you're running or while you're biking. And they have these various things. There's like these gel packs, and the gel packs just have like a gel in them. And they also, lots of times, they will commonly add caffeine to those gel packs. It does make a big difference. It's surprising that it does. And the best plan is, you kind of have to develop your body. And yes, you can adapt to it. Not 100%, you're going to have something, but you can adapt to it over time, but you do kind of want to have a plan. So like for me, it was about every 4 miles. About every 4 miles. Now, if I was running 5 miles, I didn't need it at 4. But if I was running 10 miles or if I was running 13 miles or anything above that, about every 4 miles, I would make sure that I had something to eat and something to drink. And and the other thing, well, that's another that's another topic. I'm getting sidetracked here, but they had these gels. They were basically jelly beans, and they were pretty good. And so the jelly beans were like had like a gel in them, and lots of times they would have caffeine as well. And so those are basically they're sugar, and for what we're doing right now, you don't want to do that because we're getting off the carbs. For like an endurance sport though, you probably, if you're going to be going a long time, you may need those. I mean, your body may actually physically need those, to keep your blood sugar from going too low. And so you do have to think about those things. But the caffeine is typically added. And the reason is that the caffeine does really make a difference. It makes a difference in how you feel. It makes a difference also in your performance. It really does. Um, that said, you can take too much caffeine. We all know that, if you drink way too much caffeine, it can make you really jittery. It can have all other kinds of problems. And I would say, in addition to that, one of the biggest things is that it will disrupt your sleep. You, so I guess what I would like to tell you about that is that, so what I've been doing as a general rule, for quite a while now, is I really enjoy my coffee in the morning. And so I'll have coffee in the morning up until right around lunchtime. And after I eat lunch, like my lunch may or may not have my last cup of coffee. Usually I may stop my coffee before lunch, but generally if I'm having coffee with my lunch, that's my last coffee for the day. And the time frame that caffeine is in your body is a lot longer than you might think. I know I used to think that if I quit drinking caffeine, I used to drink a whole lot of diet sodas, and so that had a lot of caffeine in it as well. You can also develop like a caffeine, I think they call it a caffeine fatigue, where you are getting so much that your body is barely even, affected by it, and you seem to need more and more and more to kind of get the same effect. And so it kind of starts this doom loop. But the recent, some of the studies on sleep have shown that caffeine from 8 to 10 hours before you go to bed will affect your sleep. And even though you might be asleep, it affects the quality of your sleep as well. So generally I cut myself off right around noon, and then that works out just about right. I usually I've been staying up later lately, but I usually am thinking about getting in bed around 10. It's usually a little bit later than that, but I'm usually like, heading that way and kind of getting dressed and getting ready, and then, those kinds of things around 10. But so the takeaway here is that caffeine really is. It's a good, reasonably safe, effective, used within reason. Gotta always say that. It really does help. It really is good, and it can help a lot. But I would also say that you got to think about the other side of that, and that is that it is a stimulant. That's one of the reasons it helps you. But you don't want to have that all day long. Actually, kind of that caffeine fatigue that I was talking about. It's funny because at a certain point, if you're taking way too much caffeine, instead of it making you feel more alert, it makes you more tired, which sounds really crazy, but that's my understanding of the way that works. But as I always say, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a professional trainer. I'm only talking about things that I've read and seen and my experiences. And so I am completely open to the fact that I could be wrong on some of these things. If you are a medical professional, if you are a dietitian, if you are a professional trainer and I'm getting something wrong, we would love to know about it. And feel free to put something in the comments. I am perfectly willing to be corrected. If I am wrong, I would like to be corrected, honestly. I don't want to be spreading bad information to people, but those are my experiences. That's what I have experienced. And that works pretty well for me. So anyway, think about caffeine. If you are going to start, especially doing cardio or going to do endurance stuff or things like that, it might be something that you would consider. And I don't know, down the road, I think I probably will talk a little bit about endurance sports and kind of that process and how that all works for people who are interested. We'll see. But today's topic, caffeine, and I think that about wraps it up. So I hope everyone has a great day today. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for day 21. If you like this video, maybe you can give me a like. If you know someone who might benefit from it, maybe you can give it a share. If you like kind of these challenges and these topics, you might even follow the channel. There's the previous one. This is my second 50-day challenge. The first one was 50 days of trash, and I think that's a pretty good one. People seem to like that one pretty well. And hopefully you like this one as well. And when we are done here in another 30 days or so, we will be starting another 50-day challenge, and that one is to be determined. But have a great day, everybody. Take care, and earn your coffee. Bye.